Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Business Talks. I am your host, Chawanne Burns. In today's episode, we are going to talk about Jasmine Crockette. Jasmine Crockette, she's been making her rounds in public television. She was on The View, screaming and hollering about Doge and Donald Trump and Elon Musk. And she was on MSNBC last night. So we'll further discuss of what she talked about during her time on those shows. Also, Cash Patel is he's up for nomination or his the vote for his nomination for the FBI. I don't know if he's gonna get through. I'm pretty sure he is, but there's certain Republicans they're saying that they're not gonna vote for Cash Patel, probably because Cash Patel he's formerly been like the supervisor of FBI, but he's been in the FBI for quite some time, almost 10 years now. So I don't know why they're holding back, but I think one of the things that he is speaking about as far as the FBI, where they've been in the last 10 years of his observing how that they're not doing things on board. And he's claiming that it's a lot of corruption within the FBI within itself. So he said he's going to clean house once he's confirmed through the Senate. So we'll talk about that just a little bit. And then also the CTU president of Chicago. So Chicago Teachers Union president is up for re-election. I think the vote is supposed to happen in May sometime, but there's several teachers that's putting themselves on the ballot against her because they feel these teachers feel that they lost the touch of reality, basically. Okay, and we know Chicago school system is pretty lacking. They have some problems in the Chicago school system, even though Stacy, her name is Stacy Davis. She makes about almost $300,000 a year. It might be close to 400,000, but whatever her salary is, they're able to get increases on their salary, but unfortunately, we can't see any results when it comes to teaching the children. Okay, so the teachers in Chicago school system is starting to speak out against her, and specifically, and where the teacher unions is going. Okay, and so we'll talk about that. Okay, that's all on today's episode of Business Talk. So you guys stay tuned.
Little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad. Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad. What? This is what you call a bad.
You guys put it in chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Please put it in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see we have Sandy Rodriguez. Sandy Rodriguez is in the building. Larry Huddleston tuning in for Fort Worth. Tyrone Price tuning in for South Carolina. Kennard, the DJ, it's always great to see you. Larry Huddleston, my fish pond froze solid. Oh my goodness. I hope the fish is okay. Usually it don't freeze at the bottom, so that you'll find the fish is probably swimming at the bottom. So hopefully they will survive during this cold winter season. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any advice for you, but hopefully they're okay. Celeste Hodges, hello for Texas. And to many of you, thank you for tuning in. You guys, like I said, put it in the chat. Let me know where you're viewing from. Anyway, so I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I always say that because I got a job. I got a job. I got to be at the job at 2:00. Well, my meeting. I got a meeting at 2:00. Anyway, so we're going to talk about Chicago Teachers Union first. Let me see. Chicago Teachers Union first, and just trying to find my original story. You guys forgive me. Yes. Okay, there we go. And this is from ABC 7 Eyewitness News of Chicago. Uh, Let me share this with you. And it's saying Chicago Teachers Union or teachers are gearing up for an election soon. In May, Stacey Davis Gates' first term as Chicago Teachers Union president comes to an end on. So one organized group of teachers says it's time for the leadership to change.
President comes to an end.
You guys put in the chat. I want to make sure you can hear this.
There's an organized group of teachers that say it's time for a leadership change. REAL stands for Respect, Educate, Advocate, Lead. REAL is also known as the opposition.
And I'm here to announce my candidacy for president of the Chicago Teachers Union.
Yes.
High school computer science teacher Erica Meza is challenging Stacey Davis Gates. The CTU's president's term is up in May. Meza is running on a slate with 3 other teachers. She says REAL's leadership slate has 70 years combined of classroom experience. They are running because they believe CTU's current leadership is out of touch with its members and the community.
Our standing amongst stakeholders, parents, and elected officials has weakened. And the morale of our members has faltered.
CTU's current leadership team is part of CORE, Caucus of Rank and File Educators. Beginning with the leadership of the late Karen Lewis, CORE has steered the ship for the past 15 years. Its progressive agenda has made CTU a national union powerhouse, striking 3 times to win contracts, but these teachers say they've had enough.
Our leadership has been prioritizing politics over the rank and file needs and our daily struggles.
CTU has given thousands of dollars to political candidates. A big chunk went to the successful election of former CTU member and organizer Mayor Brandon Johnson. The REAL slate of candidates claim the union has not released annual audits in years, which is required by the CTU Constitution.
As financial secretary, I'm committed to no secrets. No secrets about officer salaries, no secrets about political campaign contributions, no secrets about the foundation's finances.
CTU says it has released audits, but not in the past 2 years. No one from the union's leadership team was available for interviews today. A written statement reads in part, quote, "Our union is proud to continue the tradition of democratic debate, collective action, and representation from and for our members." The CTU election is May 16th. A majority is needed to win. In 2022, the REAL Caucus and another group ran against Davis Gates and her team, but split the vote. The REAL Caucus says, as of now, they are the only opposition.
This is funny. This is funny only because you have the teachers union. The teachers union, your job is to, of course, focus on the teachers to make sure the teachers have everything that they need to do their job. Okay, that they're not going into the workplace where they're not being supported. Okay, this is the problem with teachers union. I believe it's like the lady said, they're putting politics over the actual, what they're saying, the rank and file members, what the actual teachers should actually have, the resources that they have or should have. And so and that's been they've been putting in, this is all over, this is widespread, this is not just in Chicago, but probably all major cities are going through the same thing that Chicago is going through. So anyway, You guys put in the chat what you think. Is it Stacey Davis Gates' problem? Yeah, I think it is. It was under her leadership. I think she had what 4 years or two to 3 years to kind of get some changes going, and it seemed like she hasn't did anything besides collect a paycheck and then pad Brandon Johnson's pocket. Anybody's that giving Brandon Johnson any money, we ought to question them what their motivation is, because apparently their motivation is illegal residents in Chicago. It's really not the residents of Chicago teaching the kids, because you're supporting somebody that don't even support his own residents, his own taxpayers, which is to me is a blatant failure on their leadership and a slap in the face to the residents. Anyway, please hit the like button. Thank you, Sandy. Hit the like button and subscribe button. Sandy is saying Johnson looks like a beaver, or Alf. You guys remember Alf, right? We got a Twitter comment or Twitch comment. They're saying, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, how you doing, Samantha?" Anyway, Celeste Hodges is saying, "I think there's shouldn't be a teachers union." Yeah, I don't think it should be. But I'm kind of wondering, would they even pay the teachers less if it wasn't a teachers union? Or probably wouldn't. Teachers probably will have more power and more say so about what they're teaching the kids and their curriculum, in the core curriculum, because a lot of things that came out of the core curriculum and the change of the curriculum didn't necessarily come from the teachers. It came from the very top, saying, "Hey, you gotta do this, change this." Some young person went to some type of freaking psychology class and a DEI class saying, "Oh, the kids should learn this long base math instead of teaching them 1 + 1 = 2. They're teaching them a chemical formula of how to get to 1 + 1 = 2. The new math ain't mathing for real, you guys. The new math is not mathing. The stuff that they're teaching these kids is stupid. Anyway, I got a quick story about GM. Now, we talked about GM or just tariffs, period, on this channel. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit more. So, people were crying about Trump's tariffs. Okay. So much. Remember in 2017, was it 2017, 2019, and kind of in 2020, Trump probably really doubled down on his tariff initiative. Okay. He doubled down and everybody's like, "Oh, he's trying to start a war. We're beholden to China." This is, we're beholden. We owe China a lot of money. China this and China that. Like, oh my God, we should be afraid of China. All this crap that they were saying. You're raising the prices up on the American people. That's the thing that they were saying about Trump's tariff. And then they didn't realize that once Trump left office and Biden got in there, Biden just extended Trump's tariffs. But nobody talked about that. He had a whole three-page report on what type of tariffs Biden had. And he extended some of the tariffs. Actually, he kept all Donald Trump's tariff and he extended it to different things or commodities that was coming in from China and other parts of the world. But nobody said anything about that. Now, Trump is back in office and he's talking about tariffs. Now, why do we get mad at Donald Trump? And he tells us, he's giving us information. Hey, you know what? I'm about to, say put tariffs on automotive factoring parts, and don't be surprised. So everybody be like, "Oh my God, he's initiating tariffs." What he told you. And then, but you have the Democrats and the leaders of the Democrats and even Joe Biden. He did everything undercover. He didn't tell you shit. And he still had tariffs. Matter of fact, more extensively than Donald Trump. Okay. Nobody gave no smoke to Joe Biden. None whatsoever. You guys go back to some of my videos that has tariffs in the title. I specifically talked about this. They didn't give no smoke to Joe Biden, but all the smoke to Donald Trump. So and then remember, during election time, Donald Trump actually debated this guy on Bloomberg TV, and he was head of some type of e-commerce or whatever, and he was a professor of 50 years or of 25 years. And Donald Trump said to his face, yeah, you might be a scholar at this, but I'm telling you that you're wrong. And lo and behold, you guys, this is the article. I'm just giving you the information. Okay. I'm giving you the information. You get mad at it, but this is what they're saying. Okay. GM CFO says if U.S. tariffs are permanent, because company must consider plant locations. Donald Trump's plan was to bring back plants back to the U.S. If you're a U.S. owned company and your headquarters are based in U.S. and you have manufacturing companies or parts companies outside of the U.S., I'm going to initiate tariffs to incentivize you to get back to the U.S. What that entails, more jobs. It will stimulate the economy. I'm real loud because it's just in case you can't hear me. It stimulates the economy if we bring back these part plants or whatever they're talking about. And I'm just going to read some of the article for you. CFO Paul Jacobson, you guys can see this, right? Said on Wednesday at Barclays conference that if the U.S. tariffs became permanent, the company will have to consider moving plants. But it also said it had not made those decisions yet. GM and other automakers are closely monitoring how tariffs on vehicles and parts from Canada, Mexico, and elsewhere will impact their business. If you got 25% on tariffs, and we're the main consumers of what, U.S. vehicles? Yeah, your sales will go down if you're going to put a 25% tariff. And you, of course, you got to pass that on to the customer, because if you don't, it's going to hurt your profits. And then if you do pass that on to the customer, then you have to sell less vehicles. Hello, this is like basic what is it called? Basic economics. It's nothing hard about what we're saying here. It was nothing hard about what Donald Trump was saying. All they saw is, oh yeah, the prices are going to go up. Yeah, of course it's going to go up. But then if my prices as a company, if my prices are going to go up, I'm going to have to really think about, okay, if I have a plant in the US making these parts, then my prices could stay the same and my revenues or my net profits will probably increase or stay the same. It won't decrease. This is basic economics. I mean, but why didn't everybody was like, oh my God, the tariffs is going to go up. The prices are going to go skyrocket. And this is the point that Donald Trump was trying to make. Hey, I'm trying to incentivize manufacturing companies to move back to the U.S. So in turn, we could have a great economy. Not China. China, we talked about the GDP. China was far below our GDP. I'm talking about gross domestic products. We always been a leader. Not anymore. China will surpass us by 2030 or 2035. And that doesn't, it's not good for the US. It's not good for your children, because your children's going to need job. It's not good for us, the elderly. And I'm not elder, but the people that's on Social Security or Medicaid. It's not good because they're not paying into the system. It's not good at all overall for American economy. Okay. And it says President Donald Trump on Tuesday said he will introduce a 25% tariffs on automobiles starting in April. He also introduced and then delayed for a month on 25% tariffs on goods of Mexico and Canada. If I was Donald Trump, I wouldn't delay it. Just put it in action. Let's bring back our manufacturing jobs back to the US. And matter of fact, they were building a massive automotive plant in Mexico, and they stopped that. I shared that video on our channel as well. They stopped building that massive, and matter of fact, they were saying it would have been the largest automotive plant in the world. They stopped in Mexico. That's where they was building it at. And they stopped building that plant because of Donald Trump just thinking of him getting in office. They put the project on hold. And it's saying if they become permanent, then there's a whole bunch of different things that you have to think about in terms of where do you allocate plants and do you move plants, etc. Those are questions that we just don't have the answer today, because I can tell you, as much as the market is pricing is a big impact on tariffs and lost profitability. And you know what the shareholders are going to tell them? They are going to tell them, bring your ass back to the US if it's affecting my bottom line. Or you're not going to have a job. They're going to vote their asses out. Anyway, so there you have it, folks. And I just wanted to talk about that. Okay, just to let you guys know, what are they saying? No, not what the politicians are saying. What are the CFOs saying of the automotive industry and all these other people that actually run the companies? Not AOC and Jasmine Crockette and all those crazy folks. Okay. So speaking of Jasmine Crockette, she's been making her rounds in the media. Yesterday, she was talking about we might as well kept Sleepy Joe in office. This is what she said on The View, you guys. We might as well kept Sleepy Joe in office if we know he was going to do this. He told you. Oh, and then she called everybody ignorant, basically. These are uninformed people, the people that voted for the people that voted for Donald Trump are ignorant and uninformed. She didn't use the word ignorant. She just said not informed enough. She said something about that. Anyway, this is Jasmine. Okay, this is not Jasmine. Yeah, it's only 5 seconds. Okay.
Donald Trump, he right now has the criticisms that exist of Donald Trump, he right now has a 53% approval rating. It's higher than it's ever been. Yeah. 70% believe that he's fulfilling his promises, and 45% believe Democrats should be more moderate. What do you take away? I think there's a lot to make of those numbers, but what's your takeaway from that?
My takeaway is just like the election. We've got to do better at education. People don't understand, but
I just had to laugh at that. We got to do better at education. She's absolutely right. Better at education, but we're talking about educating our children, not better at education of what she's talking about. I believe we need to do better at educating our children, but the people, the way people move and think, if it's affecting their pockets and it's affecting their ability to protect their family and provide for their family, they're going to vote with their pocket. Okay. So she missed the she didn't even listen. She listened and she responded. She didn't listen to like comprehend. I think Jasmine Crockette, I do like Jasmine Crockette, but I think she would be an excellent lawyer, and I think she was an excellent lawyer. I mean, if you look at some of the stuff that she's done before politics, she was an excellent lawyer. But as a politician, I think she's just too, what is it called? She too gun ho on Democrat side. She's too progressive. She's just, I think she just, drunk from the Kool-Aid jar, and then just ran with it. She's like Ayanna Presley, AOC, all those nut jobs. All the things that she says is like she's not really in touch with reality, and it's unfortunate for her because I think Jasmine Crockett I think she's pretty much intelligent, but she says some pretty unintelligent things. It's gonna go to
All of the criticisms that exist of Donald Trump, he right now has a 53% approval rating. It's higher than it's ever been. 70% believe that he's fulfilling his promises, and 45% believe Democrats should be more moderate. What do you take away? I think there's a lot to make of those numbers. What's your takeaway from that?
My takeaway is just like the election. We've got to do better at education. People don't understand, but you will understand when those hospitals in rural America start closing down even more. You will understand when you don't have your Social Security. You will understand when your Medicaid, your Medicare goes away. You will understand as planes continue to fall out of the sky. Soon you will understand why it's important to maybe have somebody that isn't loud and ridiculous, and maybe Sleepy Joe is what we wanted because we could at least sleep at night.
Yeah, that's the truth. Amen, child.
She said a mouthful that was very not only unintelligent but untrue, you guys. Okay. This is why Doge exists. So we can have a Social Security and we won't bankrupt the United States. We already discussed yesterday. The US incurs $2.8 trillion every year for the last 10 years. In debt. And they're talking about borrowing money just to pay their debt service. They're saying that we don't even collect enough taxes to pay our debt service. They're even talking about that the US is their credit rating is going to be downgraded at some point. So this is far overdue to overhaul our finances. Okay. So the rate that we were going prior to Donald Trump getting back in office, we were going down a spiraling hill. Okay. Exponential hill. When she's saying that Social Security and Medicare and all these benefits will be gone away, no, it would have been gone away even if Donald Trump wasn't in office, because we wouldn't have been able to afford it. Now we probably can afford it if they keep on going and filtering out all this fraud, waste, and abuse. We will be able to take care of the American people. You got to realize, look at the messenger. These people, and I'm speaking of the Jasmine Crockett's, the AOCs, the Chuck Schumers, the Nancy Pelosi's, even the guy, he's a Republican that I was talking about yesterday, that signed in. He tried to write a bill to sign in funding for Ukraine for 2030. For the next 5 to 10 years. Even and let's not get it twisted. It's some Republicans patting their pockets too. So that's why they can't handle the heat. Okay. But what I'm getting at, these are the same people that's had the blue and yellow flag talking about, yeah, save Ukraine, save Palestine, save all these people, LGBTQ, trans rights, blah, blah, blah. I'm a woman, but I'm not a woman. I'm a man, but and I feel like a woman. You know, these are the same people. And then they threw dollars at these causes for no damn reason. Black lives matter, but only Black lives matter when you're gay and trans. Black lives don't matter anywhere else. Did George Floyd really matter? Because that $90 million that they received, George Floyd family didn't get none of that shit. And he had fentanyl in his system. They didn't open up any fentanyl stations or Narcan stations in Minnesota where he died at. No, they're not doing any type of drug reform in Minnesota, but Black Lives Matter. These are the same people that told you to, hey, they're trying to tax the millionaire, or no, they didn't say tax the millionaire because they fall in that tax bracket. That don't get it twisted. Tax the rich, the billionaires. They skip the millionaires. Tax the billionaires. The rich must pay their fair share. And they not rich. Jasmine Crockette said she's not rich, but I looked at Jasmine Crockette before she was even in Congress. This lady was making $1 million a year, and she ain't rich. Tax her. Is she paying her fair share in taxes? Or she know all the loopholes that Donald Trump knows? They're telling you what you should be thinking. All the while they take advantage of the same things that Donald Trump takes advantage of, that Elon Musk take advantage of. They just make less money than them, but they're still millionaires. They not like us. They're not like us. And then they're telling you, oh, save Ukraine. And all the while we can't even save our veterans. We can't save homelessness. We can't save people that's hungry out on the street. We some of these medications that seniors take, and it's like $600 or $700 a prescription. We can't even save them. We charge our own seniors $600 for some prescriptions when it costs them to get it probably like $10 or $12. Ain't that some bullshit? And they all screaming, don't be efficient. Don't find the fraud, waste, and abuse. Okay, I don't understand it. I'm really confused by this. Okay, so speaking of fraud, waste, and abuse, and DEI, we have another administration or administrator of Trump's in Trump's office saying, yeah, they're cutting fraud, waste, and abuse, and they're cutting DEI out of their program as well. Okay, so this just came in. Let's see. Trump HUD secretary cancels $4 million in DEI contracts after launching Doge task force. This is Scott Turner. Now, remember, you guys, if you're Black and you voted for Donald Trump, and if you're on Facebook, you probably saw all these tweets about, or all these posts about, oh, y'all niggas voted for Donald Trump, but he didn't put not one nigga on his in his office. Then they put Tim Scott up there. Tim Scott already got a job. He's a senator. And then they put what was the last HUD director, the doctor. He actually turned it down, but They put him up there. Yeah, up there campaigning for Donald Trump, but he didn't even give you a job. Blah, 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 blah. Ha, 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 ha. Y'all still broke or whatever. Okay. But we don't believe in DI. We believe in, hey, on your merit base. Okay. This is why some of your cousins are stupid. We believe in merit-based promotion. Hey, we're going to get a job. I want it based off of what I could do in my abilities. That's why some people don't survive in sales, because they just want to get paid and not do shit. But get in sales. It's a telltale sign of your abilities. Anyway, I digress. So this is that one token, that one token nigga in the White. In the White. Are you guys happy that you got a Negro in the White House? Okay. His name is Secretary Scott Turner. Okay, and he's breaking down DEI. He's breaking down DEI in HUD. He's saying they wasting about what, $4 million, and he's trying to get that $4 million. And he talks about how they're trying to change people, I guess, change the way they think. Anyway, this is what he had to say. Anyway, as that is trying to play. It says Department of Housing and Urban Development HUD will be canceling $4 million in diversity and equity inclusion contracts after the federal agency freshly formed Department of Government Efficiency Task Force uncovered $260 million in savings last week. Here it goes. No sound? Okay. Let me see if I could take this off. Maybe it's something wrong with Fox. Hold on for a second. Maybe it's something wrong with Fox. Hold on for a second. Maybe it's something wrong with Fox. Hold on for a second. Maybe it's something wrong with let me see if I can find the clip on YouTube. That's unfortunate. Anyway, let me just read it to you. Okay, since I can't get the video to play the sound, it's saying we're working hard and we cut 4 million of DEI contracts. And that's what he said this morning during Fox and Friends. This is money that should go to serve the American people. So DEI here at HUD is dead. The contracts on the chopping block were geared towards cultural transformation and mindset. Outward mindset, thinking of subscription services. I'm not for sure. What do they mean by subscription services? I think you take a workshop, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. When you have a DEI workshop, or they're trying to give you training for DEI, it's usually like a workshop. What is a subscription service? Does it a person come in on a monthly basis and say, "Oh, I'm here for that DEI training," and I don't think DEI training is mandatory. I think it's all voluntary, right? Um, or maybe it is mandatory in some companies. I'm not for sure. But it says last week, Turner established a new DOGE task force to comply with President Donald Trump's executive order to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity, eliminate waste, fraud, and abuse at HUD. DOGE, guided by Elon Musk, revealed that $1.9 billion in funds was misplaced. This is at HUD. $1.9 billion was misplaced. No, it's not misplaced. It's in somebody's bank account. During the Biden administration, had been recovered of as last Friday's, adding that they were earmarked for administration of financial services, but were no longer needed. Doge said it worked with Turner to release the funds, and they are now available for use by the Treasury Department. And it says those funds were supposed to be used for the administration services that help us carry out the services here at HUD. And when you don't use the funds, they don't just go to the next year. You're supposed to notify the Treasury Department, and these funds are now available for other federal expenditures, and that did not happen. This is what Turner said. It was a great mismanagement and negligence over the past few years from the Biden administration. 3 civil rights nonprofits have filed a lawsuit against Trump administration, claiming that the eliminating of federal grants perceived as DEI, including those administered by HUD, materially impede their ability to advance civil rights causes at core of their missions. Turner is among the swath of defendants listed in the lawsuits. How you suing the black man? Why you suing the black man though? Anyway. You know what? You guys, sometimes I'll be joking, but sometimes I don't be joking. But anyway, so that was it. You guys let me know what you think about that. So they canceled DEI at HUD and their subscription service, a DEI subscription service. That sounds shady in itself, but it's canceled. Okay, it's no longer in existence. They're going to be mad about that. They're probably going to be marching and dancing in the streets. They're going to be dancing in the streets. I'm finna show you if I can find it. Okay. That's it for our show today. You guys, peace out. I'll catch you in the next video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. I'm sending all my good to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow.